You could file this under unsurprising, not shocking news, but still important. Thank you for being here. Let's talk about CNN's reporting that the Trump team has skipped FBI background checks for some cabinet picks. Shocker that was the image. That's the headline with a big picture of Matt Gaetz, who's embroiled in all kinds of heinous controversies involving heinous, criminal, felonious behavior, and Tulsi Gabbard, a mouthpiece for Vladimir Putin's intelligence arm of his government. And there's some problematic things in this writing from CNN, as you would expect from mainstream media outlets. We're going to talk about those. But what I want to impress upon you is that Donald Trump, the reason he does this isn't to get over on setting new norms, or however they try to phrase it here, about circumventing background checks would be bucking a long-established norm in Washington. It's not about bucking the norm. It's about having Donald Trump himself be the decider, to be the government. Not the executive branch, not the president of the United States as an office. It's Donald Trump everyone answers to, everyone swears loyalty to. Not the Constitution of the United States. Not some feeling of aspirational loyalty to the country. Not that warm and fuzzy feeling they get when they pledge allegiance to the piece of cloth that represents America. None of that. Donald Trump. Again, that headline, Trump's team skips FBI background checks for some cabinet picks. President-elect Donald Trump's transition team is bypassing traditional FBI checks for at least some of his cabinet picks while using private companies to conduct vetting of potential candidates for administration jobs, people close to the transition planning say. Trump and his allies believe the FBI system is slow and plagued with issues that could stymie the president-elect's plans to quickly begin the work of implementing his agenda, people briefed on the plan said. Critics say the intrusive background checks sometimes turn up embarrassing information used to inflict political damage. You mean like having inappropriate and criminal relationships with children? Is that the kind of embarrassing information they're afraid of? The discussions come as Trump has floated several controversial choices for high-level positions in the U.S. government, including Matt Gaetz for Attorney General and Tulsi Gabbard for Director of National Intelligence. Ultimately, the president has the final authority on who he nominates and decides to share intelligence with, regardless of the established protocol set in the wake of World War II to make sure those selections don't have unknown foreign ties or other issues that could raise national security concerns. Both of those on the front page of this article, Matt Gaetz and Tulsi Gabbard do that. But circumventing background checks would be bucking a long-established norm in Washington. It also reflects Trump's deep mistrust of the national security establishment, which he derides as the deep state. Sources say he has privately questioned the need for law enforcement background checks. Yeah, listen, with the number of wife-beaten cops and child molester cops, why would we want background checks involved with someone who is granted power over others? The power of detainment, the power of arrest, the power of suspension of constitutional rights. Why would we want them background checked? What a quandary. Why would we want someone to undergo a federal government background check and not the background check of some private detective organization? It must be just bucking the norm. It must be that, right, CNN? Dan Meyer, a national security attorney in Washington, D.C., said the incoming Trump administration doesn't want harmony. They don't want the FBI to coordinate a norm. They want to hammer the norm, he said. Some of Trump's advisors began circulating a memo before the election, urging him to bypass the traditional background check process for some of his appointees. A source briefed on the memo told CNN. Instead of using law enforcement, the memo proposed hiring private researchers who could move more quickly to perform background checks. The president-elect, the insurrectionist convict president-elect, could always, however, decide to eventually submit names to the FBI as CNN bends the knee. Well, he could always do that too. He might even just go do that. Let's put the Donald Trump administration into the brightest, most flowery, rose-colored light that we can, CNN. It's just him bucking norms. That's all it is. It's because he doesn't like the deep state, a thing that doesn't exist. This, in large measure, not entirely, this shit is why we're here where we are. This is why we have Donald Trump. Again, not fully because of. There's a myriad of reasons. Fantastic work, CNN. Fantastic work, corporate media. You're really just hitting back against the fascistic agenda of Donald Trump. You're making it hard for them to exist. Great. How are you enjoying the umbrella of protection that is provided you by the United States Constitution and the First Amendment? How's that going? Is it good? I hope it is. What do you think? I invite you to this conversation. You can comment below. That's great for engagement and helping with the algorithm madness. You can also call the voicemail line, 714-576-4054. Of course, as always, you can email me daily at dollemore.com. Listen, I would earnestly ask that you help support independent media. If that's not me, and I don't say this jokingly, if you're more of a David Pakman fan or a Farron Cousins person or any host of individual out there doing good work in independent media, whether it be on YouTube or Substack or wherever, support them. Give them a couple bucks a month. It is more important now than ever. I know it's tiring to hear us say that year after year after year. As things degrade over time, making it more important now than ever. We're witnessing it in real time. Fascism marching into America. But if I am that guy, I'll end it. If I am that person for you, please do consider helping support this work. Click the join button below, become a channel member for $2 a month. You can also go over to my Patreon page, which is even better because they take way less money. YouTube takes like 35% or something. Patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. Now that all the accounting is done, follow me on social media. I'm at Dollemore everywhere but Twitter. I'm still there as an account, but I'm not there. I'm probably going to end up just deleting it, I think. It seems like what the best thing to do is. Anyway, at Dollemore, Threads and Blue Sky and TikTok and Instagram, Facebook, you can find me there at Dollemore. I love and appreciate you. I will see you next time. Be genuine and take care of one another.